Recorded Books presents Platinum Persuasion by India, narrated by Madison C. Marie. Chapter 1. Prologue. From the day Layani Cherise Bell fell from between her mother's legs, the world was betting against her. Born 4 months premature, the doctors didn't expect her to make it, but she did. At the age of 6, Layani was diagnosed with leukemia. Again, the doctors gave her a death sentence, but she survived. As if that weren't enough, at the ripe age of 13, she lost her mother and father in a head-on collision with a truck driver who had fallen asleep behind the wheel of his big rig. Although her mother had 2 sisters and her father's mother was still alive, no one on either side of her family tree wanted to bear the burden of raising someone else's child. Therefore, she became a ward of the state just hours after the accident. Due to being bounced around and lost paperwork, she wasn't even permitted to attend her parents' funeral. For the first time since birth, Layani was all alone. Every waking moment she spent without her mother and father made her want to lay down and die. However, she knew her mother would be angry if she were to ever give up, so day by day, she pressed forward. "Don't you know you're a fighter, girl?" her mother, Georgia, would say every time life dealt her precious daughter a low blow. "Yes, ma'am," the shy child would always reply. "Then hold your head high, put your dukes up, and yell, 'Bring it on.'" Just the thought of her mother's voice put a smile on Layani's lips and caused several warm tears to trickle from her large doe eyes down her cocoa-complected face. Usually, she brushed the waterworks away in a hurry, as not to let the other kids know she was a crybaby. Today, however, she chose to let them fall freely. Maybe it was the gloomy morning weather peeking through a crack in the blinds, or maybe it was the fact that her birthday was the next day. Whatever it was had her in her feelings. Soon Layani's soft sniffles turned into loud sobs. She tried to suppress the sound by burying her head into the paper-thin pillow resting atop her twin-size bed, but it was useless. Not wanting to wake her roommate Angel, Layani forced herself from the bed that was too small for her growing 5 feet 6 inch frame. Carefully, she took the ladder down from the top bunk and planted her feet firmly onto the carpeted floor. As soon as Layani put her hand on the doorknob, she could hear a car door close from outside in the driveway. The distraction was enough to stop her tears momentarily as she headed over to the bedroom window to be nosy. Resting in the driveway was a familiar, older model gray Buick. Its owner, Mrs. Gale, walked up to the walkway with a briefcase in hand. Layani knew seeing the old, slender social worker on a Sunday was never a good sign. Tiptoeing over to the bedroom door, she opened it slightly and listened as Mrs. Gale and Mr. and Mrs. Daniels exchanged pleasantries downstairs. After a few moments of small talk, Mrs. Gale explained that the state audited their records and realized the maximum child occupancy for a home their size was 6, which meant they were over by 1. Consequently, she would have to remove the additional child and place them at another home. Mrs. Gale also advised that they could at least keep the children of their choice, but the decision had to be made immediately. Layani eased the door closed as her heart began racing uncontrollably. She'd been with the Daniels for almost the entire 2 years she'd been in the system. The first home she was placed in caught fire 4 months after her arrival. Though things weren't bad there, she knew being placed with the Daniels was a blessing. For starters, they treated each of their foster children like family, even the most troubled ones. Mr. Daniels took time out of his busy day as an EMT to spend time with all the kids by taking them to and from after-school
Sample complete. Ready to continue?